Hey folks, CharlotteLivingForHealth.com, and today I want to talk to you about the ankle and the golf swing. What does it mean? What's happening? And what are some things you can do about it before you get on that golf course? So let's talk briefly about the ankle itself. It is a super cool joint because similar to the shoulder and the hip, the ankle has 3 degrees of motion. So this plays a significant part in our golf swing. So what does that mean? So that means the ankle can work up and back. And this is unique because it's actually 2 versions of flexion here. We've got something called plantar flexion where you plant your foot down, dorsiflexion, you bring your toes up. You've got inversion and eversion. So the foot going in, the foot going out, and then of course you also have rotation, goes round and round. So all of those motions are happening in the golf swing. Let's take a very quick look at that. Super cool stuff here. So when I'm in the golf swing, now we know that we've got our back swing, we start to shift our weight in our downswing, we make contact, we've got that follow through. Our ankles are moving the entire time with everything working from the ground up here. So let's start to break that down very briefly here. When I'm in the back swing here, let's focus on those ankles here. Now for me personally, my personal swing, my ankle comes up a little bit on my lead leg here, and that helps me to get a little bit deeper in that backswing, theoretically. When that is happening, notice that my foot is going in what's called plantar flexion. My foot is planted in the ground. Whatever's happening on one side, on my lead leg, on my trail side, the opposite is happening. So if I'm doing plantar flexion here, there's relative dorsiflexion happening on this side, and that's in the backswing. As I start to shift my weight and uncoil and come in that downswing, for one, we're getting rotation the entire time. I'm also starting in, when I first start my swing, in a little bit of inversion on both sides. Now that's going to help push off from my trail side to my lead side, push off, having that foot inverted, which is naturally going to lead to some eversion on the lead leg. We're going to rotate the entire way through, and now the opposite's going to happen, where I'm going to have some plantar flexion here and some relative dorsiflexion here. How cool is that? So there's a lot happening at the ankle joint there. So what are some things that we can do about this to help care for it? Well, before you get on the golf course or before you start your workout, I want to give you 3 exercises and stretches that can really help you. Now, if you are in any pain at your ankle right now, do not do these, go see a medical professional. If you're feeling okay, maybe you've had past injuries or some discomfort, these can be great for you. So here's the first one. I'm starting with the most important one. This is one that you should do even before you stretch and before you do exercises. And again, before you get on the golf course or before you work out, consider doing an ankle mobility drill. This is an ankle roll. Super simple, super subtle, and very quick. So I'm going to take my foot, we're going to do this on both sides obviously, put it about 45 degrees ahead of me, and I want to simply roll my ankle. Now what we want to do is make sure we're actually rolling only the ankle. So there's a target you want to think of that's right under this bony part here, the malleolus. Between the bottom of your foot and the malleolus is where you want to concentrate. So if we think about that area only, make sure that we're not moving the hip, we're not moving the knee, we are solely moving just that ankle and rolling that. And here's the good news, you only need to do this start with 7 or 8 of these, and that's it. It doesn't feel like much. I call it a creeper. Super effective. So you want to make sure you do that on both sides before you do anything. Give it a try. See how you feel afterwards. That's exercise number 1. Number 2, I want to show you a couple stretches here. We're going to stretch the calf muscles here. Now the calf has 2 hugantic muscles. We've got the more superficial muscle called the gastrocnemius. Underneath that is something called the soleus. And there's ways to stretch both of them. So I would recommend doing variations of both of these. The difference between stretching these is between keeping your legs straight and bending your knee. For both stretches here, I'm going to lean against the wall. This is one variation of stretching the calf. There's 2 variations though, because again, we want to get both muscles. So I would play around with both of these, see which one feels good. It's very common to be tight in our calves. If you wear any shoes, for example, that have any kind of lift or heel on them, you have a chance of tightening up because you're constantly tightening this muscle. So it's a very common area to be tight. So play around with both of these stretches. It's the same stretch where I'm leaning against the wall and I'm going to lean into this. The variation, now I'm concentrating on my right leg here. Notice right now my leg is straight. When I lean into that with the straight leg, I'm working what's called the gastrocnemius, which crosses over the knee joint and therefore To better stretch that muscle, I keep my legs straight and lean into it. If I want to target the soleus a little more, which is the muscle underneath, the soleus does not cross the knee joint. So to better stretch that, I'm going to bend my knee and then lean into it. Okay, so again, I'm still stretching on my right side here, but now my knee is bent and I'm leaning into it and I'm better targeting that soleus muscle. So those are 2 stretches you could do for your calf muscles. The last exercise, super easy, calf raises. These are exercises that usually feel really good. I can simply, even just using my body weight, lift up. Just go on my tiptoes. This is a calf raise right here. Do enough of these, they will burn. Now, following the same concept as what we just saw with the stretches, there is a difference whether you're standing or sitting. Standing right now, and maybe I want to put some dumbbells in my hands to add a little bit of weight, I'm working the gastrocnemius a little bit more. Whereas if I sit in a chair where my knees are bent, I just want to make sure I put maybe some dumbbells or any type of weight on my knees and lift up that way. That's going to work a little bit more of that soleus muscle because the knee will be bent. So again, that exercise, standing or sitting, calf raise. So there you have it, 3 things that you could do before you get on the golf course or even before you work out. We had an ankle roll, calf stretch, and calf strengthening exercise to really help work everything around that ankle. Keep it strong, keep it mobile, keep it flexible. So I hope you enjoyed this. This is Cheryl, Living for Health. Thanks so much for watching.